You know, usually I start my videos off right from the jump, getting into it and talking about what I want to say. But this time, I'm gonna do an introduction. Yeah, we gonna try out doing an introduction because number one, I kind of haven't really figured out what I want my intro to be like, and I kind of got a pad for time because they got that little thing where if you cuss or do something offensive within like the first, I don't even remember how long, but I'm gonna just let it go for like 3 minutes before I say something offensive or anything. But yeah, like they'll demonetize you. So this is me telling you guys, welcome. Welcome to SNU TV. SNU TV, I started it because I was tired of all the white fucking voices in hip hop media speaking on black culture. Period. That was the reason I started SNU TV. I have a passion for hip hop. I myself am writing a hip hop history book, and I myself am very tuned in and tapped in to hip hop news, culture, and occurrences. So I don't really feel like I need a white man or a white person or a white owned platform to inform me on a culture that I come from, that I'm a part of, and participate actively in. It's ridiculous. This is not a rap music. Well, no, I'm gonna touch on some rap stuff. I've decided that I'm going to continue forward with the multi-topic video format because I think I can more naturally talk for a longer time about multiple topics, and it won't sound like I'm being redundant and repeating myself and reiterating my point several times over. So what I wanted to come in and start this video off with is, obviously, we know what's been going crazy on Twitter right now, which is this Austin Metcalf, Karmelo Anthony incident. Now, see, me personally, I don't give a fuck about Austin Metcalf. I don't. And you want to know why? Because white people never gave a fuck about Trayvon Martin. They never gave a fuck about Tamir Rice. They never gave a fuck about that black boy who was found rolled up in a fucking wrestling mat with all of his organs removed. And they're still, 5 years later, talking about this fucking George Floyd shit. And I swear to fucking God, I don't understand where white people got the assumption that this shit was about us having a fucking love for George Floyd, the person, specifically. Like, where did y'all get that idea? Do white people not understand principalities? Do white people not understand that this was about the actions that were performed? This was not about, oh, yeah, George Floyd, that's our homeboy. We all know George Floyd. Every black person knows George Floyd. What, you don't know George Floyd? Man, I'm going to put it like this. I don't know George Floyd from Sam. But when I see a video of a cop kneeling on a man's neck, and this, I don't give a fuck what race. He could have been white, he could have been Chinese, he could have been Mexican. If I see a video of a man kneeling on another man's neck for 10 minutes, I don't draw any conclusion from that other than that man is wrong. How you can try to intellectualize or justify that type of behavior is ridiculous. So yeah, I don't give a fuck about a white nigga dying because he decided he wanted to accost a kid for sitting in a seat. First off, let's get this out the way. Number one of the fucking list. They started the shit. You as another student do not have the fucking authority to order another student to do any fucking thing, let alone have the authority to put your fucking hands on them and attempt to physically move them. That's number one. Number two, according to the witnesses and what was said, there was 2 people accosting this young man. Third, and finally, he gave him more than a fair enough warning not to fucking put his hands on him and to keep his fucking hands to himself. We all learned in kindergarten to keep your hands to your fucking self. So, realistically, they were the aggressors. So, you can miss me with all the shit y'all talking about. I don't care. Because realistically, this is just you being upset that y'all had to sit with the consequences of the actions that came from when Derek Chauvin murdered George Floyd. And you can dish it out because y'all been sitting there making memes and all type of shit for 5 years, but you can't take it. And again, I don't know George Floyd from Sam. Realistically, like, fuck George Floyd. It's bigger than him. George Floyd was not the first nigga to die to police brutality. He was just the first nigga that got choked out by a lynched nigga. He basically got lynched. Lynching is when they suffocate you by choking you and asphyxiating you from a tree. The only difference is there was no rope and tree, but he was asphyxiated. So, don't come in here talking about, you treat this man like he's a saint. No, we treat him like he's a fucking human because he was a fucking human. You dumbasses. I don't know how you were raised, but I was raised that every human life has value, regardless of if I believe that or not. Because guess what? That's how God feels. That's how God feels. So you can miss me with the outrage, bro. You really can. But to move on into the discussion, they talking about why is it's not being televised? Why is it not on the news? Why is there no outrage and marches? Well, number one, this was not a police brutality situation. There's nothing to protest. Number two, I don't know if you knew this or not, but Karmelo was already in jail. So, again, what is there to protest? The thing about this is not a racialized incident. As far as we know right now, this is literally just a fight between 2 individuals and one died. That's what we know right now. From witness reports, we don't have anything else other than They touched his stuff. He told them not to. They tried to make him move. He said no. Fight, broken phone, niggas dead. That's all we know. We don't have any motive for why Austin felt that he could tell this nigga to move. We have no motive for that. It could be racially motivated, but we don't know that. People are jumping to racialize this because white people have been wanting to be victimized so they can make an excuse for their racism for years. They've been wanting to be victimized so they can make an excuse for their mediocrity when they got a 400-year head start for years. And I think it's completely disingenuous for people to sit up here and act like black people are just more violent than white people when the fact that white people did a fucking rape and murder world tour says otherwise. Because I just seen on Twitter the other day some white motherfucker asking why Africans never went and colonized shit. And that's because, bitch, we already had everything we needed in Africa. Why the fuck you think y'all niggas is there now? Exactly. So, who is the more violent race? The ones that enslaved, raped, and murdered for 400 to 700 years? Or the race that commits some crimes underneath a economic system that manufactures crime and poverty as a design? Come on now. The fact that you are too stupid to understand that crime is, number one, a fucking social construct, and number two, a direct result of socioeconomic failings of a society, you just jump to, oh, black people are criminals. You think motherfuckers don't want to not do crimes? Like, you think motherfuckers enjoy crimes? You think motherfuckers just wake up and be like, well, I need some money today. I'm gonna go rob me a person, and yeah, then I'm gonna have some ice cream. Like, no, you stupid motherfucker. Let alone, if you look at the actual statistics by the numbers, the numbers of crimes committed by white people in every other category is higher. Than every other race. And they'll try to be, well, per capita, you're coping. You're coping. And it's not that we don't understand per capita. We just know good and goddamn well that fucking 5 million is a higher number than like fucking 2 million. Because if you look at the fucking FBI table 43, the number of crimes committed by white people is higher. And it doesn't matter that you are more of the fucking population, you stupid motherfucker. More white people doing more crime doesn't absolve you from the fact that you commit more crimes, you dumb bitches. And that's why these tables and this data is not for you stupid ass motherfuckers that fucking work in a fucking bait and tackle shop to be looking at, because you don't understand what these numbers mean. And you don't understand or acknowledge systemic racism. Because if you expect me as a black man to give a fuck about some data collected by the same organization that killed Fred Hampton, you can suck my fucking dick. I don't believe shit the FBI comes out with. I don't even believe that Table 43. I just use it within the argument because the numbers on that bitch don't lie. That's why they came with the per capita shit. Because if you really want to dig into this argument, we can debunk it very, very easily. If you say the entirety of these statistics. Because, yes, you can say, oh, 13% of people is responsible for 50% of the crime. Da-da-da-da-da. You dumb motherfucker, did you also know that they're responsible for 50% of the fucking exonerations? And that 80% of false accusations and convictions are black men? But that destroys your little narrative there, doesn't it? Because the Table 43 doesn't account for actual convictions. It just counts arrests. You stupid bitch. So, like, you think you're saying some smart shit when you come with this per capita thing, but you don't understand the entirety of the story this data is telling because you're not looking at the entire set of data. There's more to crime statistics than just the number of arrests that occur. There's the number of convictions, the number of exonerations, the number of people who are arrested for crimes they did not commit and are charged for crimes they did not commit. 3 different statistics I just named that you always neglect to bring up in this conversation. That changes the story that this data tells. So, not only is this data only one part of a greater set of data that proves systemic racism, it is the most irrelevant piece of documentation to me because I don't trust the FBI. And I thought you motherfuckers didn't either. So, like, I'm tripping, like, we don't call them Fed Boy and the Alphabet Boys. But now you trust the FBI when it comes to those darn naggers, huh? I bet you do. Because the reason that data is even available for you stupid motherfuckers to consume is to radicalize you. It's supposed to radicalize you. It's propaganda. It's CIA propaganda to agitate right-wing militants in America. Because all of this shit plays a vital role in the controlling of the working class and the American people. Even the fucking alt-right. But y'all too stupid to know that. And y'all think we stupid because we like fucking rap music. And speaking of this, Nav just dropped his album, Welcome to Rexdale. That shit slaps. That shit goes harder than a motherfucking tank, to use my nigga Potted Plants verbiage. Number one, I didn't even know this nigga Nav was coming out with the album until the album came out. And then I was like, oh shit, this shit kind of bangs. And, you know, to me, Nav is one of those artists where you don't really understand the appeal of the music if you don't relate to the music or you don't like the sonics of the music. That's all it is. And you know, Nav has a lo-fi, chopped and screwed, like chill, but like upbeat sometimes. Like a lot of Nav shit is sad, like low key. But when up tempo, my bad. Up tempo is what I mean. But if you don't just like some chill shit sometimes with some like, you know, and Nav can't say it, but I'ma say it, some real nigga shit. Like Nav just talk about some shit that, and you know, you can feel it. Like that's some shit I fucks with that. You right. Or like if I'll pull up, you know, I'll pull up the lyrics when I sit in front of the computer, because right now I'm just recording this in my phone, but I'll pull up the lyrics of one of Nav's songs so I can like just point out some lines and stuff that I mean, like so you can understand what I'm talking about when I talk about like the relatability and the realness. And it's like, it's something I didn't really value much in music when I was younger, because like me personally, when I first got into rap music, that's when I went through my lyrical miracle fucking phase, like right away off the bat. Like I got that shit out the way in the beginning. Like when I first started listening to rap music, I was listening to just fucking Immortal Technique, fucking Nas, fucking Jay-Z, Big L, fucking Cannabis, fucking like, you know, all the fucking Wu-Tang Clan. Like if it wasn't lyrical shit, I was not interested. But I digress. I've learned to appreciate more simplistic forms of lyricism, to where, like I said in previous videos, I judge the bars that the rapper says off of who the rapper is. Like, for instance, and this is one of my go-to examples for real for this. So like, J. Cole, put an M on your head, you Luigi brother now. That's ass for J. Cole. But like, if like Playboy Cardi said that, that'd be hard, because that's Playboy Cardi. You know, that nigga isn't that great of a rapper to begin with. But like, I expect better from J. Cole. And then I already had a bar that flipped something like that years ago. So that's another reason I'm unimpressed by that. And like, bro, you're way older than I am. Come on, man. But I've come to understand that not everybody needs to always be, you know, a lyrical miracle on every song. Like, that's not necessary. Like, it's legit not necessary. And like, I feel like people will argue you up and down, like, you should be super lyrical on every song if you're a lyricist. And I ain't gonna lie, I see in a video Willie D that made me change my perspective on lyricism, because this nigga was right. But the caveat really is, so what he said is, if you write lyrics, you're a lyricist, which is true. Like, technically, by the definition, that is true. But, like, and I think I've touched on this in a previous video as well, colloquially, when we say a lyricist in hip hop, we mean somebody who is a complex lyricist and like emphasizes complex, structures in raps, like using multi-syllabic rhyme schemes, using, different flows and different rhyme patterns, switching your flow up, alliteration, metaphors, punchlines, similes, all that type of stuff. Like, people who emphasize like the highest level of that. That's what we would consider a lyricist. But technically, anybody who writes lyrics is a lyricist. So like, really, I can't necessarily say you're doing lyricism wrong. You're just doing it different and in a less complex way. But here's the caveat to me. I personally believe more complex lyrics is a display of a more proficient skill set. Like, if you're able to do more, that means you have a broader skill set, which means you are more skilled. But I also don't believe that music is subjective, so there's also that. But that's a whole different video that I'm gonna make down the line. That one probably will be like my first scripted video where I just like type up some shit and I actually read that shit damn near to y'all, like how FD and them niggas be doing. But I really don't think you can do lyricism wrong. You can just do it with less technicality applied. And there's an argument for like, preference, but if you really think about it, it's not about preference, because your preference can be ass. But that's okay, because you can like whatever music you want to like. And I don't understand why people have to try to justify the music they like by saying, no, it's not bad. Like, bro, that shit's ass. I'm sorry. Like, for instance, and I fuck with Lil Uzi Vert. I love Lil Uzi Vert's music. Lil Uzi Vert, they are probably one of my favorite rappers in the past 10 years. But Lil Uzi Vert is ass. But Lil Uzi Vert can rap though. But Lil Uzi Vert is not the most proficient lyricist. You know what I'm saying? Like, people in hip hop have allowed capitalism and the music industry side of hip hop influence how they perceive the greatness of a rapper. Like, look at somebody like Drake. Drake we all know has ghostwriters. We've heard all the reference tracks leak. We've literally had this nigga sit in an interview with LeBron James and tell niggas, yes, I work with writers. That never would have flied back in the day. They would have laughed this nigga out of here, bro. But let's not get it twisted. There's always been ghostwriting in the music industry. But the music industry and hip hop culture is two different things. Like, in the hip hop culture, what has Drake achieved? Really think about that question. What has Drake culturally contributed to hip hop? I'll wait. But on the music industry side, he has all the sales. He has all the Billboard awards. He has 5 Grammys, the amount of Grammys Kendrick Lamar won for just one song at the Grammys. But, you know, he has 5 Grammys. He has some other awards. He has Michael Jackson's glove. He has Tupac's ring, which is crazy to think about, low key, because that's like, bruh, I ain't even gonna hold you, bruh. That's like how the British niggas got them all that African shit in they museums over there, and they won't get that shit back. Tupac's ring should be sitting in a fucking hip hop museum. Period. Tupac's ring should be in either an American history museum, a local history museum like a California or New York, or it should be in a dedicated hip hop history museum. I don't see why it's not. Why does somebody have Tupac shit to be able to sell it? Like, why is nobody questioning that? That was weird to me, that nobody was questioning that. That wasn't weird to y'all that somebody just had Tupac's ring? Like, I know rappers rent jewelry and shit all the time, but like, do I believe Tupac rented that ring? And the jeweler got it back and that's who sold it? If that's the case, I'm going to have to do my research and find out. And if I do find that out, I will let y'all know. But nobody was questioning how Tupac's ring was available to be sold in the first place. I don't think Tupac died broke, did he? Didn't Tupac die during like the peak of his career? I'm not the biggest Tupac fan, but I know the fucking story of Tupac Shakur. Anyway, like I said, what has he contributed to hip hop culture? That's what we need to. That's what the measurement of your greatness should include. Like, yeah, I mean, and really, we can't even say Drake's the best lyricist. Cause niggas writing his shit. To be real, we need to start trying to figure out what we as a culture value the most from our legends. Because at the end of the day, when all this shit is gone, what is going to be left is the art that you created. And like, I don't know, when they dig up fucking Certified Lover Boy in fucking 3,000 years or some shit, and fucking, you know, some fucking archaeologist from a fucking future civilization discovers that shit, they're gonna wonder why the fuck this nigga had a bunch of pregnant people on a fucking album cover. I just wanted to say that because I thought, that's an interesting thought. Like, when it's all said and done, is your art going to last? And me personally, I've always been a Drake doubter. So like, I don't really like Drake. Like, he got a few songs, like I'm sure everybody that listens to hip hop that's like a millennial, they probably got a few songs that they like by Drake, especially like a younger millennial like myself. Like, I just turned 30, but Drake got a couple songs that I like. I don't listen to him anymore because, like, I ain't gonna lie, I can't listen to that nigga after Meet the Grams. That shit make me feel weird, bro. Shit make me feel gross hearing Drake sometimes, man. But I can't, man. Like, and the crazy part is, I'm mad this nigga Kendrick literally dropped right after Family Matters, because before he dropped, I was enjoying Family Matters. I was sitting in the crib like, drop a 50 bag for the mob in the spot. Like, this shit was sliding. I was really trying to keep it PG. Like, bro, that shit was kind of hard. I can't hold you. Like, I like when Drake does the melodies, as Kendrick said. I like that. My favorite Drake album was Take Care. That was my favorite Drake album. And then next was If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. But that was the moment I decided, and I feel like I've said this in a past video as well, that was the moment I decided I was no longer even going to make Drake eligible for my fandom. Like, I found out this nigga didn't write like one of the projects by him that I like the most, if not the most. So like, because like realistically, I'd say If You're Reading This and Take Care is tied for first. For real. But like, the songs I like and this is why I say again, I don't consider myself a fan of Drake, and I don't really like him like that. Because like, even when I talk about Take Care, it's only like a handful of songs off that bitch that I really even like. Like, to me, it's skippable. Like, a good portion of songs on that shit is skippable. And like, I'll have to pull up the Take Care. I have to pull up the Take Care track list. But I can tell you right now, Crew Love, Over My Dead Body, the title track, and maybe like one or two other songs is all the songs that I like off of that. Like 5, 6 songs. If you're reading this, it's too late. The only songs I really liked off of that was Legend, and Party Next Door wrote that. Energy, Quentin wrote that. And Riding Through the Six with My Woes, and Quentin wrote that. So really, what do I like off of there that Drake made? Nothing. If Drake wrote the rest of the songs on If You're Reading This, I don't like them. So I don't like Drake. The songs I really like off of Take Care, which was Crew Love, is the main song I like off that album. Like, that's literally one of the only reasons I would listen to that album, is for the song Crew Love. And I only like that song really mostly for The Weeknd. So, because I ain't gonna lie, I was a bigger Weeknd fan than I was ever a fan of Drake. Like, if I really think about it, I've always liked The Weeknd a lot more than Drake. 100%. Like, low-key, The Weeknd probably got more songs that I actually have in my phone than Drake. I don't even think I have Drake in my Apple Music library. Low key. And it's funny because I used to, but I don't know if they still do this, but for a while, like, Apple Music, if you didn't pay your bill and they canceled your account, when you paid for your account again, your library would be wiped. So at some point, I just decided it was no longer important for me to have Drake's music on my phone, and I never added his music back to my music library. So really, now when I listen to Drake, if I do ever, it's like hearing it played by somebody else, like maybe my wife or fucking the radio, or fucking sometimes I might listen to fucking what's a song by Drake that I listened to recently? Jimmy Cooks. Oh, that shit slaps. I can't hold you. If I ever find out somebody wrote Jimmy Cooks, Drake, I swear to God, bro, you mean nothing to me anymore. Drake, that is your last chance, bro. I swear to God, if a Jimmy Cooks reference track leaks, I'm done. I will stop giving Drake chances for any attempt to be a person whose songs I like. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I was listening to that shit a couple weeks ago because I was drunk as fuck, and I was like, you know what? I fuck with that song. I want to hear that shit right now. I don't give a fuck. I was drunk as fuck. I was like, fuck what that nigga Kendrick talking about. I need to hear this shit. Fuck a pigeonhole. I'm a night owl. This a different mode. I'ma have to make her paint a 6 on her pinky toe. Heard you with a shooting guard. Just let a nigga know I can have your court side, not the middle row. All good, love. Been a minute, though. I can't stress about no bitch, cause I'm a timid soul. He was cooking on that bitch. Jimmy was definitely cooking on that bitch. I like that one. I can't hold you. So look, I'm gonna tell you, no. See, this is why I'm glad I don't be scripting these bitches. Cause if I scripted this, I would have whole ass forgot about this. I would have just kept plowing through the script. But when this nigga came out with Her Loss, I actually liked a couple songs off that bitch. And then you know what? I found out fucking Lil Yachty wrote them. This nigga keeps doing this shit to me, man. And y'all think I'm supposed to trust Drake and like him? This nigga is a master manipulator and a deceiver. Like, real shit, though. Back Outside Boys. Lil Yachty wrote that. Jumbotron shit poppin'. Lil Yachty wrote that. I liked both of those songs. Like, bro, why does every song by you that I like written by somebody else? Like, low-key, I know for a damn fact that I've probably liked more Party Next Door songs written by Drake than Party Next Door songs that Party Next Door actually got to release. And that's why I'm glad he did that album. And you know what? Actually, no, I'm not. No, I'm not glad. I've been meaning to say this. I've been meaning to make this video for a minute. And I don't know if I remember if I said this, but I'm going to say it again because I don't give a fuck. Drake, you a bitch ass nigga. Because how you going to wait till you fuck up everything in your fucking career by getting smoked by Kendrick Lamar to do a fucking collab album with Party, bro? You're a dickhead. That's so unfair to Party Next Door. And you know what? I like Party Next Door more than I like Drake too. Drake is always fucking over people that I like more than him. You know what? Let me calm the fuck down before I wake my son. But nigga, you niggas need to understand, I can't trust this nigga Drake. Every time I like a song by this nigga after like fucking 2013, it was written by somebody else. And you know what? I like early Drake, like Ransom. I used to have that on my fucking iPod. And yeah, I sound old as fuck. But yes, I had an iPod. I had a fucking iPod Touch. And yes, I had Drake on my iPod. And guess what? I didn't have Kendrick Lamar yet. Because I didn't even know who the fuck Kendrick Lamar was. So, and look, I'm going to be real with you. Drake did not put me on Kendrick Lamar. I didn't even know he went on tour with Drake. I found out about Kendrick Lamar from the song ADHD. Actually, no. The first song by Kendrick Lamar I heard was Ignorance is Bliss. I'm pretty sure. Off Overly Dedicated. But then ADHD blew up, and that is like the song that made me a fan of Kendrick Lamar. ADHD. For sure. But I was listening to him before that song came out. But I was just finding out about him like everybody else. But I didn't find out about him because Drake... Number one, again, back then, I actually hated Drake. I hated Drake until fucking Take Care came out. Then I was like, okay, he's alright. I fuck with this album. I fucks with Lil Aubrey. This is a tight album. Cause mind you, back then I was listening to fucking like Mos Def and fucking Talib Kweli and fucking goddamn Ghostface Killah every day and shit. Oh, and Kanye. I was listening to Kanye a lot. Like, low-key, the song Streetlights, I used to listen to that song every day on the way home from school on the bus. Literally. Man, see, this is another reason why I can't really ever hate Kanye, bruh. There's so much of my fucking formative childhood years that is fucking relevant and like involves let me rephrase that. There's so much of my childhood where Kanye West's music is relevant to a memory I have of my childhood. Like, I literally remember sitting on the fucking bus, my emo ass when I was like fucking 14, like fucking looking out the window, listening to fucking Streetlights in my fucking headphones, being all fucking angsty on the bus on the way home. So, like, at the time, to me, I wasn't even checking for Drake because, number one, I didn't consider Drake a real rapper. Like, every time I heard Drake, this nigga was singing. So I was like, bro, you're not even a rapper. You're a singer that raps. And this was, like I said, back in my lyrical miracle phase. So I was like, oh, fuck Drake. But when I heard Take Care was probably the first time this nigga perfectly blended the rapping singer shit. And it's funny because Drake wasn't even the first nigga to do that. People loved to say that at the time. And I literally would just say Bone Thugs and Harmony. Nate Dogg. Like, people don't know. And it's funny because when I got into hip hop, that shit was my life, nigga. Like, cause you gotta understand, and I've said this in previous videos, when I was growing up, I didn't like rap music at first. I used to listen to rock music and jazz and classical and video game music. I didn't listen to rap music. And that was mostly because, number one, I didn't understand what the fuck niggas was saying because most of rap music is slang. Hence why white people get on the internet and talk about not understanding anything a rapper just said, even though they're speaking in plain English. But this video has already gone on too long. I'll probably make a part 2 to this, expanding on this topic, but probably not. I already rambled on too long. But thank you for watching. If you stayed this long, like the video, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.